Welcome back to Shipstorm TV. Today, you'll see daring rescues, brutal ship collisions, and monster storms that push man and machine to the edge. But stay locked in, because at the end, we'll reveal the unstoppable power of a nuclear submarine. Don't miss it. Hit subscribe now. Look at that, a collision that could have sparked disaster. The Stena Immaculate, packed with jet fuel for the U.S. Air Force, was struck by the Solomon in the North Sea. One spark, and the entire ocean could have gone up in flames. Flames explode on a small yacht in the bay, ripping through the deck as fierce winds push the blaze toward nearby boats. Every second counts. One wrong gust, and the fire could leap across the water, turning the harbor into an inferno. Chaos erupts on deck as crews shout over roaring waves, racing to locate a man overboard. Every second feels like a lifetime. Suspense, fear, and determination collide in a desperate fight to save a life against the relentless sea. Out here offshore, the sea is unforgiving. Crew battle towering waves, freezing winds, and relentless spray just to keep operations running. Every move demands focus, courage, and stamina. Life and work intertwined on the edge of nature's rawest fury. Four lives on the line, stranded after their boat capsized off Townsville's coast. As waves pounded, an EMQ rescue helicopter swooped in. With seconds to spare, the crew pulled all four to safety. A miracle in the storm. This is survival against the odds. A tense rescue unfolds 150 miles off Puerto Rico as the U.S. Coast Guard races against towering waves to save passengers aboard the Carnival Dream. Every second counts. Every maneuver matters. Heroes in action, proving courage and skill can conquer the fiercest seas. A medical emergency unfolds aboard the massive Opera cruise ship. Amid towering waves and panic on deck, rescue teams race against time. With the clock ticking, they lift the injured passenger to safety. A dramatic rescue that shows courage when danger strikes at sea.
Oh my God. That's it. Oh my God. They're okay.
Disaster off Taiwan. The TS Taipei runs aground, snaps in two, and sinks beneath raging seas. But the story doesn't end there. Smith's salvage arrives with colossal power, battling waves and wreckage to lift the broken giant from the deep. A breathtaking fight against the ocean itself. In the fury of a New Zealand storm, the cargo ship Rena runs aground, tearing open her hull. Inside, 100 tons of fuel oil threatening to spill into the sea. One breach, and the coastline could face an environmental catastrophe beyond imagination.
Shit.
In the heart of the North Atlantic, a monstrous storm unleashes winds at force 12 on the Beaufort scale. A cargo ship fights desperately, but with engines failing, it drifts helplessly. Each towering wave threatens to swallow it whole. Pure survival against nature's wrath. Chaos in the canal. A massive cargo ship loses steering, drifting sideways with terrifying force. The banks loom closer, every second a heartbeat away from disaster. One wrong slide, and steel meets concrete in a crushing impact. This is a near miss written by fate.
Bangga! Bangga to! Bangga!
Rogue waves strike with brutal force. Towering walls of water slam a container ship, tilting its massive deck. Nearby, a small vessel doesn't stand a chance, capsized in seconds. Nature shows no mercy, reminding us how fragile steel and skill can be at sea. From Japan's seafloor to California's coast, a distant earthquake unleashes a tsunami that surges into harbors. The water rises nearly a meter. tossing boats like toys and smashing docks. By the time it calms, damage climbs to $26 million. Nature's reach knows no borders. Killer whales on the hunt. An entire pod surges through the waves, chasing down a small ship offshore. Their fins slice the water like torpedoes, every leap closing the gap. It's man versus predator in the wild, untamed theater of the ocean.
Oh my god.
Beneath the waves lies a masterpiece of engineering, the nuclear submarine. Unlike diesel subs that must surface often, these giants create their own power, air, even fresh water. Imagine it, 3 months underwater, invisible, unstoppable, surfacing only to resupply and swap crews. It's not just a vessel, it's a hidden city of steel, a technological marvel cruising silently in the deep. In the balance of power at sea, nothing inspires more awe than the sheer endurance of nuclear submarines. Welcome back to Shipstorm TV. Get ready for the ocean's most intense moments. Massive ships colliding, fiery blasts shaking ports, and steel giants crumbling in seconds. This isn't Hollywood. It's real, it's raw, and it's happening right now. The storm starts here. Here it is, folks, the mighty Roarborg, making its grand debut in 2014. A mountain of steel sliding into the sea with unstoppable force, flexing raw power and flawless engineering. The crowd roars, the water explodes. This isn't just a launch, it's a thunderous statement on the ocean stage. July 2020, 2 steel giants, Florence Spirit and Atlantis, charging head-on in the narrow Welland Canal, Ontario. The impact is brutal, metal screams against metal, and the world holds its breath. Miraculously, no lives were lost, but this terrifying clash shook the waters like never before.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
In Istanbul, history met disaster. a massive cargo ship lost control and plowed straight into a centuries-old waterfront mansion. The crash was thunderous, wood splintering,
Oh my gosh.
stone crumbling, as onlookers
Oh my
gasped in
gosh.
shock. In seconds, a priceless piece of heritage lay shattered beneath the brute force of steel and sea.
اسعى المركب بتتقلب اسعى لا خلاص راعي نفسه الحمد لله
February 2024, Guangzhou, China. A massive cargo ship slams into a bridge with unstoppable force. In seconds, concrete crumbles, steel twists, and the entire span collapses. Cars plunge into the river below as chaos erupts. It's a nightmare on the water, pure destruction unfolding before stunned eyes.
لا خلاص راعي نفسه الحمد لله
اكسر قزاز.
الناس نطت من المركب يا جدعان
2019, San Juan, Puerto Rico. The colossal Norwegian epic cruise liner drifts off course, momentum unstoppable. Then, impact. A thunderous crash shatters Pier 3, concrete splintering under the ship's massive hull. Tourists watch in disbelief as this floating city tears through steel and stone like paper. Barcelona. Chaos ignites in the harbor. A ferry slams into a towering crane, sending it crashing onto chemical containers. Seconds later, boom! A massive explosion erupts. Flames shoot sky high. Smoke blankets the skyline. Firefighters race to control the inferno as the port turns into a fiery battlefield. At sea, disaster strikes cargo, an entire shipment of electric cars exposed to salt water. Then it happens. One battery ignites, a chain reaction erupts, and within moments the vessel is consumed. Flames devour everything, turning millions in cargo into ash. A floating fortune lost forever to fire. A rented yacht turns into a fireball of chaos. One simple mistake, forgetting to switch on the ventilation fans. Gas fumes build, then ignite in a deadly flash. Within minutes, flames race through the vessel, devouring it whole. A dream voyage instantly becomes a nightmare at sea. yacht launch turns into instant disaster. The massive crane, straining under the weight, suddenly jerks out of control. In a heartbeat, the multi-million-dollar vessel plunges straight down, smash into the water below. Gasps erupt from the crowd as triumph turns into sheer catastrophe. On the Guap River, disaster in seconds. A towering crane buckles under crushing weight, then collapses. The vessel beneath is torn apart, metal shrieking as millions vanish into twisted wreckage. A launch gone horribly wrong. The vessel hits the water, crack. The hull splits open instantly. Gasps erupt as the proud ship sinks into shame, a brutal reminder of fatal design flaws. Santo Domingo's port. Suddenly, chaos like a blockbuster movie. The massive chiton surges forward, completely out of control. Then, boom! It slams into the docks, concrete flying, metal twisting. Workers scatter in panic as the harbor transforms into a scene of pure maritime mayhem.
On the bottom now!
In Hamburg Harbor, disaster narrowly avoided. A towering three-masted training ship scrapes a docked vessel, nearly capsizing. Windows shatter, debris scatters, and onlookers gasp as catastrophe comes terrifyingly close.
Nou, dan heb ik toch nog even...
A rescue ship, built to save, suddenly turns traitor. Instead of protecting, it slams into the very vessel it should guard. Steel crashes, truss shatters, its mission twisted into catastrophe. Far out at sea, tension erupts into raw chaos. Japanese whalers, massive and unyielding, ram straight into the Sea Shepherd's ship. Metal grinds, waves explode, crews scream over roaring engines. It's not just a collision, it's a high-stakes showdown on the open ocean, a battle of will and fury.
Never jump in? Yeah, he jumped in. Stop.
Come here, boy. Oh, he's rolling.
Wow, check him out. Hi, guys. Are there 2 or 3 of them?
So, which moment shook you the most? The bridge collapsing, the raging fire, or that bone-crushing collision? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. The ocean, majestic yet merciless. One tiny mistake can unleash disaster. Don't miss a single wave of chaos. Hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned to Shipstorm TV for more jaw-dropping moments from the wild seas. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Shipstorm TV. Out at sea, the ocean shows no mercy. One moment it's calm, the next it's fire, steel, and waves towering higher than houses. What you're about to see are real moments, raw, intense, and unforgettable. Get ready, because out here, survival hangs by the thinnest thread against the ocean's fury. March 6, 2025. Flames erupt inside the EV deck of the Morning Midas. Crews fight for months, but the fire never yields. By June 24th, the ocean claims her, along with thousands of cars. A ship once towering with steel and life, now lost forever beneath the waves. A ship drifts, out of control, no brakes, no escape. In a heartbeat, steel slams into concrete. The sound is thunder, the impact, devastating. And when the chaos clears, all that remains is shattered metal and silence. One wrong move, and it's over. No second chances. Steel slams into concrete with bone-shaking force. The Blue Star runs aground, helpless. A small boat crashes into the USS Midway. Chaos, disbelief. In mere seconds, dreams sink and lives hang by a thread. In Norway, a massive cement carrier malfunctions, slamming straight into luxury yachts. In seconds, millions sink in splintered wood and twisted steel. And somewhere else, tempers flare as crews shout, each swearing it's not their fault. But out here, blame doesn't matter. The ocean always collects the price. Tourists laugh, cheering as waves slam against the glass, like it's all part of the show. But then, the window bursts. Screams replace laughter. Joy flips to panic in a single heartbeat. That's the sea, inviting, thrilling, and in the very next breath, utterly ruthless. From Turkey's ports to the wild Atlantic, nature unleashes chaos. A ship tilts, 24 containers crash into the sea. Elsewhere, waves slam decks like hammers, and tourists flee a collapsing beach. No matter how strong we build, the ocean always proves. It writes the final chapter. Just when you think you've seen it all. Nature flips the script. South Africa's coast buried under mountains of sea foam, like a dream. Then ice collapses with thunder, and hail the size of fists pounds the ocean. Beautiful 1 second, terrifying the next. The sea never ever plays by our rules. I chart. Not every disaster comes from the sea itself. In disputed waters, Japanese patrols slam into Chinese ships, politics colliding in steel. Far south, Sea Shepherd activists charge head-on at whalers, risking everything. Out here, it's not just storms that threaten lives. It's the battles between men. And then come the predators. Out of nowhere, a shark strikes. Jaws wide, lightning fast. Elsewhere, an orca shadows a small boat, relentless in pursuit. To the ocean's hunters, we're not explorers or tourists. We're trespassers in their domain, and survival hangs by a thread.
Here we go.
He's in the cage.
There's one coming right under our boat. Oh my God.
Steel bends, metal screams, and waves tower like living giants. A ship, once a fortress of steel, now tossed like driftwood, powerless against the fury around it. In these moments, you realize the ocean doesn't care how big you are. It decides who survives and who disappears forever. Morning calm, evening chaos. Waves tower like buildings, winds roar like jet engines, and a ship, tiny against the storm, fights for every breath. The ocean can kiss you with sunrise, then crush you by sunset. Out here, survival isn't promised. It's borrowed, moment by moment. Out here, danger doesn't roar, it snaps. A single mooring line, stretched like steel lightning, can break without warning. One crack, and it's life or death in a heartbeat. These men don't just dock ships, they gamble with fate so the rest of us stay safe. Engines roar, steel creaks, but it's the sailors who bear the weight of the storm. Sweat, focus, and unshakable will. That's what keeps a vessel alive. Ships may bend, they may break, but the courage of those at the helm is what truly carries them forward. Welcome back to Shipstorm TV, where the ocean's beauty collides with its fury. Tonight, we dive into shipwrecks, tempests, and raw natural power, until we reach the human story of a lonely lighthouse keeper. Imagine giant vessels slicing waves, sails straining against raging winds. But what happens when the sea strikes back? Stay tuned, subscribe, and witness courage, skill, and survival at the edge of the deep. In Taiwan's busy port, two giants of steel edge too close. One wrong move, too late to turn. The sound of metal grinding fills the air, echoing like thunder. Crowds watch in shock as chaos erupts right at the dock. In Hamburg, Germany, calm waters hide disaster. A massive container ship drifts off course, bearing down on a docked cruise vessel. The impact is sudden, brutal. Metal crushes against metal. Passengers and crew frozen, powerless to stop the unfolding chaos. In Indonesia, chaos erupts in seconds. A massive container ship veers out of control, unstoppable as it slams into a towering port crane. Steel bends. The giant structure collapses with a deafening roar. Workers scatter, hearts pounding at the brink of disaster.
May tao doon sa crane, may tao sa... Hindi nag-stop.
In Ecuador, an ordinary day turns shocking. A small vessel drifts off course and slams into a pedestrian bridge. In an instant, concrete shatters. The structure collapses into the water. Onlookers gasp. One careless moment transforms the harbor into chaos.
Halatlara bakacağız, halatlara. Sen git halatlara bak, halatlara.
In Buenos Aires, Argentina, crowds watch in disbelief. The massive cruise ship orchestra approaches. But something's wrong. It doesn't slow, it doesn't turn. Instead, it plows straight into the pier. The crash is thunderous, steel against stone, panic rippling through the harbor. In Bangladesh, the sea shows no mercy. A tiny wooden boat battles towering waves, each crash threatening to tear it apart. The crew clings desperately, faces etched with fear and defiance. One wrong move, and the ocean swallows them whole.
¡Es un huracán! ¡No me jodas, tío! ¡Se cae la botella! ¡Es que se ha abierto la ventana!
In Canada's Welland Canal, danger strikes without warning. Strong winds and poor visibility push two massive ships off course. Slowly but inevitably, steel collides with steel. The grinding impact echoes across the water, proof that even calm canals can turn deadly. Off Australia's coast, a nightmare unfolds. A massive cargo ship loses control, drifting with unstoppable force toward an anchored vessel. Crews can only watch in dread. The collision is brutal, steel crumpling, waves exploding, the harbor echoing with chaos and fear. In Russia, a raging storm unleashes chaos. A cargo ship fights brutal winds, but nature proves stronger. One by one, 52 vehicles are torn from the deck and hurled into the sea. Metal vanishes beneath the waves, millions lost in minutes.
¡Es un huracán! ¡No me jodas, tío! ¡Se cae la botella! Es que se ha abierto la ventana. No, salimos de aquí, que nos cae algo y nos mata.
In the Philippines, disaster ignites in seconds. A massive oil tanker collides with a container ship, and the impact sparks an inferno. Flames race across the decks, black smoke choking the sky. Crews scramble for survival as the sea itself burns. A routine day at the port turns into disaster. A massive container forklift tilts, balance lost in an instant. With a deafening crash, it topples straight into the sea. Workers freeze in shock, proof that even small mistakes carry huge costs. Off Yemen's coast in 2025, chaos comes with a twist. Hundreds of sheep aboard a livestock carrier as it suddenly capsizes. Rescuers rush in, fighting waves and panic. It's a surreal mix of danger and disbelief, like Noah's Ark gone terribly wrong. In open waters, a group of fishermen gets the scare of their lives. A speeding boat barrels straight toward them. At the very last second, they leap to safety. One heartbeat slower, and it's tragedy. One quicker, it's comedy of survival. In the icy waters of the Faroe Islands, a high-stakes chase erupts. A fishing vessel, accused of illegal catch, floors its engines to escape. But the sea allows no hiding. Metal clashes as it collides with a patrol ship. Tension skyrockets. Two racing boats, neck and neck, slicing through the water, until disaster nearly strikes. In a blink, they're inches from collision. One sailor's lightning-fast reflex saves the day. It's pure adrenaline, and just a dash of slapstick nautical style. In the heart of the sea, far from the noise of the world, stands the lighthouse keeper, alone, with nothing but crashing waves and the endless wind. No internet, no markets, just the unbroken duty to keep the light burning. For centuries, they've guarded ships from hidden reefs and deadly shallows, often at the cost of their own comfort, even safety. Supplies come only every few weeks. Storms come without warning. To some, it's a peaceful paradise. To others, it's isolation carved deep into the soul. But in both, it's a calling, an unshakable vow to stand between the ocean and those who dare cross it. The sea is never truly calm. It humbles even the strongest. Every wreck, every storm is a warning. Respect the ocean or pay the price. From sailors and pilots to lighthouse keepers, these silent warriors remind us the ocean is both cradle and crucible of life. Humanity doesn't conquer the sea. We adapt, endure, and embrace our smallness. Like, comment, and subscribe to Shipstorm TV for more gripping stories ahead. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Shipstorm TV. Tonight, get ready for a wild ride. Giant ships crashing into the water, rivers roaring like untamed beasts, and boat races where every heartbeat counts. From American shipyards to Asia's fiercest waters, the ocean storm begins right here, right now. The colossal MV Marjorie C slams into the waters of Pascagoula with unstoppable force. Steel crashes against the sea, waves explode sky high. This is no ordinary launch, it's a breathtaking showdown between human ambition and the raw power of the ocean. On Indonesia's mighty Mahakam River, the water itself transforms into a beast. Waves rise and crash with oceanic fury, swallowing the horizon. Any boat daring to cross faces a trial of pure chaos, where survival depends not on strength alone, but on sheer courage. Now, it's speed versus power. Thailand's screaming turbo long tailboat against America's roaring V8 jet boat. Engines ignite, water erupts, and the river becomes a racetrack of pure adrenaline. Each turn tighter, each second faster. This is not just a race, it's a clash of legends. In the stormy Bay of Biscay, even a 12,000-ton giant is tossed like a toy. Towering waves slam its steel hull, tilting it to the edge of disaster. Nature doesn't flinch, proving no ship is ever truly invincible. Off Greenland's icy coast, a cruise ship is caught in nature's fury. Snow blinds the horizon, winds roar like jet engines, and towering waves pound relentlessly. Passengers cling to hope as the vessel battles for survival against a frozen storm.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
On Russia's Kamenobi River, chaos erupts as sudden winds and pounding rain seize control. A ferry and nearby boats are tossed helplessly, dragged by the storm's grip. Nature shows no mercy, turning calm waters into a deadly battlefield. At Thailand's Patani port, disaster strikes without warning. A massive crane buckles and topples into the sea, dragging metal and debris with it. Workers scatter in panic as the shocking collapse reminds us, danger isn't only born from storms. In Peru's Cala port, 2018, two giants of steel collide. The container ship Laura Maz slams against MSC Shuba, sending shockwaves through the harbor. Metal groans, waters churn. But by sheer luck, damage is limited and no lives are lost. Brazil's Madeira River, 2025. Sudden chaos unfolds. A massive cargo vessel heavy with soybeans slams into a bridge pillar. Concrete shatters, debris scatters into the water, and urgent inspections follow. One mistake at the helm nearly sparked a national disaster. Vietnam, June 2025. Panic erupts as the high-speed ferry Tong Duong 86 bursts into flames near port. Black smoke towers skyward. Terrified crew leap into the sea. Within moments, the proud vessel is reduced to ashes, leaving only chaos behind. India. An ordinary offshore mission turns nightmare as the coastal Jaguar suddenly erupts in a massive explosion. Fire engulfs the vessel. Crew dive desperately into raging waters. 28 are pulled to safety, but one soul vanishes into the smoke. Thailand. Chaos ignites at Lame Chabang port as the KMTC Hong Kong bursts into flames. Toxic smoke blankets the sky, workers flee in panic. Undeclared chemicals fuel the inferno, leaving destruction, injuries, and questions that authorities struggle to answer. Off Japan's storm-lashed coast, a Coast Guard vessel charges headfirst into relentless waves. Winds roar, rain lashes, yet the crew pushes forward. Courage meets chaos, risking everything to save lives. True heroes defying the fury of the ocean.
スピードアップしてちょっと次のは
1991, MTS Oceanos faces disaster as uncontrolled flooding engulfs the ship. Panic erupts, but through bravery and quick action, all 571 passengers and crew survive. A testament to human resilience, courage conquers the chaos of the sea. In the Southern Ocean, Royal Navy sailors face winds reaching 90 miles per hour. Waves crash, decks tilt dangerously, yet they press on through grueling exercises. Grit, skill, and unyielding determination transform fear into awe-inspiring courage. Watch this surfer tackle the waves with a flawless turtle roll. Water sprays everywhere, the board flips like a toy, and the crowd cheers. Grace, skill, and a touch of fun. Proof that even the ocean can bring pure joy. Hey everyone, welcome to Shipstorm TV. Out here on the open sea, one tiny mistake can spiral into chaos. Towering waves, brutal storms, and collisions that'll leave you breathless. It's all real, all raw, and all happening right now. Buckle up because the ocean never plays fair. Let's dive straight in. Hi. When the ocean unleashes its fury, no ship stands a chance. Look at that fishing boat, tossed around like a toy, swallowed by walls of water. Fishermen live through this danger daily, but trust me, it never gets easier. Out here, nature always has the upper hand, and storm, they're just the beginning, just the ADE.
Hey!
the most advanced ships aren't safe from human mistakes. One wrong move at the helm and chaos erupts. Just look at this ferry in Capri, completely out of control, slamming into boats at the harbor. Or here in Lucena Port, a head-on crash caused by a skipper's error. And remember, calm seas can still hide disaster.
Ecco, video.
What the fuck?
On the Amazon, two ferries collide head-on. In an instant, chaos erupts. Passengers screaming, scrambling, desperate to escape. The river that carried them moments ago now turns into a stage of pure panic and unstoppable fear.
Wow! Rosa atau apa?
One reckless move, a fishing boat suddenly swerves off course. In an instant, steel meets steel, and chaos explodes across the water. No time to react, no chance to escape. This is collision at its rawest, most terrifying form. On tilt, that's all it took. This massive cargo ship leaned just a little too far, and chaos erupted. Like falling dominoes, vessel after vessel slammed into each other, turning the river into a chain reaction of unstoppable destruction. Watch this ship plow through the ice, snapping frozen slabs like they're nothing. Impressive? Sure, but behind the spectacle is a chilling warning. Towering blocks of ice crashing down, entire glaciers collapsing. This is climate change made visible. Nature's message couldn't be louder, and not all dangers rise above the surface. Some sink silently below.
Danger, danger, danger! Holy crap!
Off the coast of Tahiti, the ocean unleashes its fury. Towering walls of water rise like moving mountains, smashing against the shore with unstoppable force. Tourists scatter in panic, while cameras capture every heart-stopping second. It's raw power, proof that when nature strikes, we're nothing but tiny spectators. just when you thought the danger was only at sea, nature proves us wrong. At a crowded tourist beach, the cliff suddenly collapses, tons of rock crashing down without warning. Vacationers scream, scramble for safety, chaos everywhere. A chilling reminder, disaster doesn't just rise from the ocean, it strikes on land too. Every single year, over 1,000 shipping containers vanish into the deep, gone. Most are never seen again. Why? Because once they slip overboard, the ocean claims them. Currents carry them for miles before they sink, making recovery almost impossible. And even if you find them, raising a container from the seabed costs millions. That's why so many are simply left behind, rusting, leaking, and turning into hidden traps below the waves. But the sea has its own rhythm. Tides might look calm, but they hold the power to decide a ship's fate. Caused by the pull of the moon and the sun, tides can lift massive vessels or leave them stranded like toys in the sand. And when the moon is full or new, those tides grow even stronger, spring tides that test every sailor's skill. Out here, timing isn't a choice, it's survival. Miss it, and your ship could tilt, drift, or be trapped for hours. For those who sail, the ocean's heartbeat is always ticking, and it waits for no one. We've seen ships swallowed by storms, crashes sparked by a single mistake, and dangers lurking deep below. The truth is, no matter how advanced our technology gets, the ocean always reminds us how small we really are. Out here, one wrong move can rewrite everything. So, if this shook you, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe to Shipstorm TV. More incredible stories are on the horizon. Until then, respect the sea. It never forgives.